Welcome to Pudcast Terrible with Dezisan and George Shooter Nolan, the podcast heroes of your favorite dreams. Tell me about the rabbits, George.
Rabbits?
Yeah.
You know what? There's too many of them. Apparently, uh, they've infested Australia. That was a disaster.
Rabbits?
Why? What's yeah? Yeah, you talking about the right?
You what?
You're talking about the animal?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm talking about the animal uh, rabbits. I'm asking you to tell me about the rabbits.
There's just too many of them. What's the deal with rabbits?
What?
I'm asking you. Like you're the one who's interested in rabbits. What's brought them to your mind today?
Well, I mean, I just thought you might have something to say about. How you doing, George?
You know what? I'm feeling great because today is a day where we're gonna do a G style with George and friend.
All right.
Hello, podcast listeners. Sure. So how you doing, Des?
Well, pretty good, as you can see, and it might be more notable. I don't know if you're getting that, but I'm hearing a little bit of an issue with your microphone, and as you can see, I have a brand new uh, microphone. What do you think?
Oh, it's pretty snazzy.
Yeah,
It's like a black block with a sock cover in it.
pretty, right? This is it was a gift.
Eh,
It was unwanted and unusable, and it's quite a nice thing to just appear for uh, me. It's uh, it's an H4n Pro, if that means anything to you, but it's got a sock on it. Uh, uh,
it's like one you can wear on your foot, right?
yeah, I mean, yeah, I could wear it on my foot. I probably have. It's a clean sock. Don't you worry. But I could and have worn this exact sock on my foot. I think it's actually of a pair where I am apparently missing uh, one of the socks. So I put it on the end of this microphone.
Okay. For all the how our audience is mostly was it audio files. Can
I,
you
I
explain why, what the thought process and the inspiration behind putting the sock on the microphone?
I read that these uh, higher quality microphones sometimes pick up a little bit more than you would want to if you're just speaking into them. Uh, and what they recommend is something called a pop filter. If you've ever seen those little circular things on a wire sitting in front of the microphone.
Yes, I
Uh,
always thought it was like a spit guard.
no, I mean, probably serves that function, but it's primarily to root out plosives. I was using a rather cheap microphone before, uh, and I don't know, this one would probably pick up more of the little unwanted mouth noises. So it's recommended that you get or create. I guess they're fairly easy to create. I guess if you have like a nylon stocking, you could put it on a clothes hanger and just put it in front of the thing. But as sort of a secondary and insufficient approach, or at least that's what one thing I read said you can put a sock on it, and it serves the same function of muting the plosive, but it muffles the whole thing, which I tested with and without the sock, and it works a little bit better with the sock.
Yeah, I can hear the difference, man.
Oh, good, good, yeah.
It's like
I haven't,
you're right there in the room with me, even though we're actually right there in the same, in
yeah.
separate, studio booths.
We're in the same studio, looking across from each other, and it sounds finally like we're in the same studio.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I haven't used it yet for what?
you go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I haven't used it yet for the little streams that I've been doing. So this is kind of a it's all a test. Everything's a test. I'm seeing if my audio sounds okay in the final release of this episode.
Well, I'm pretty sure the fans will be proud to be your guinea pigs.
Oh, good. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean, I hope you're right. I hope it gives
I mean,
something worth having.
yeah, I mean, this experimentation's with the premium episodes. That's what it's all about. We'll
Oh,
go
but yeah,
places other podcasts don't go.
sure. Yeah. I mean, they're all premium episodes as far as I'm concerned. This is just
Oh, the deluxe one.
yeah, this is your primo deluxe
Yeah.
uh episodes. Did you happen to catch the Farscape Easter egg, or if you saw my my last stream, did you catch that?
No, I didn't catch it.
Oh, okay. Well, then I won't spoil it for you because I doubt you want to sit through however long I was playing Sim City. But if you turn it on as it's going through my theme, there's a very special secret for only the most G style of fans to observe.
All right, I'm pulling it up now, so I will
Hey,
be
well,
observing it shortly.
that's confusing. I don't understand how you've got a miraculous mind, George.
Yeah, it's called multitasking, right?
Well, you know, it would be if you were,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, you've been playing Sim City.
I have. I've been playing SimCity, and I'm taking a pristine natural environment and turning it into a parking lot. It's a shame to see what trees and water and dirt that no one is profiting off of, and you know. Parking lots are incredibly versatile. So I'm fixing that location.
So there's gonna be a lot of parking lots.
No, it's one solid parking lot.
So where does everybody live?
I mean, someplace else. That's their business.
But your
I
whole city is a parking lot.
yeah. I mean, it will
Wouldn't
be.
there be like a game over? Because you can't generate revenue or anything like that, Like
Well,
how you get like taxes from just like a giant parking lot.
well, I used a Game Genie code, and I just have all of the money. So it's sort of development for development's sake. Um, it's just right, you know.
Why like why would you want to live in a city like that in real
Uh,
life?
no, but you know, it's you know, fortunately, I mean, there's no place for people to live. If somebody were to move and try and live on top of my parking lot, I would shuffle them out. This is a parking lot that exists to be a parking lot. So it is not there to facilitate life in any way
Yeah,
beyond that. It's just supposed to be a big pavement.
it does. Yeah, it does seem like the most anti-human idea, I've heard in a while.
Well, I mean, it's anti everything apart from development. Like all the trees are gone, made way for a parking lot. All the water. In fact, the water doesn't actually disappear. It just has parking lot atop it. So
Yeah.
anything that would live on a tree or dirt or grassland or
Everything gets
underwater.
like steamrolled, and then like everything gets steamrolled flat,
Yeah, yeah.
and then
In
like
the
the tar goes over it.
sure, yeah. Yeah, the Sim City for the Super Nintendo is it doesn't have a whole lot of the options. It's just sort of a relaxing thing to do. So you can't destroy the water, but you can put road atop it, on top of it, and you can spend your time steamrolling down the trees. And I was doing that for a minute, but now I'm just building roads. You know,
So it's actually it's not really a parking lot, but
it's
a
it
bunch
is
of
a
like
park.
it's all roads like just right next to each other.
It's a parking lot. It's absolutely a parking lot.
So there's no like transit.
I mean, yeah, there's a moment there's trying to find a place to park. You know, that'd be your transit. You know, you get what I mean?
Uh, Video game performance art.
You what?
Is this some sort of video game performance art?
You know, I wouldn't be mad if that's how you were to take it.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, it probably has some use somewhere. I would hope. Are you going to get big into the scream, the not the screaming? You already do that. You're going to get into the streaming as well.
No, I don't want to get too famous. I think the micro
Oh,
celebrity level is what
yeah.
suits me. I'm doing this
Well,
more as like advertisements for my main job
oh,
to get
which is
clients.
that?
Yeah. Oh, I'm an image consultant.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must have known that. How's your image consulting going?
It's going pretty slow so far. Like I tried to send an invoice to like a friend of mine
Yeah.
uh for like it's like just about like $500. It's a reduced rate I do for families and friends. It was like for advice I've given him before unsolicited, but it was worthwhile and he's refusing to pay.
What was the
So
advice?
I would have to send you an invoice
Oh,
if I told you the information.
I'm not. Uh, uh, well, I'd send that invoice right back. I'm not paying you for that.
Well, that's like that's basically the attitude my friend had, like how do I deal with this?
Well, you know, I'm on your friend's side so far. What do you call your business?
It's I always tell the name of my business to serious clients. You
fair,
know, like
fair enough.
it's yeah, have to look at your image first.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I mean, the the only image that I make that anyone needs to know about is for this you know, little setup, and we already have the highest possible production quality. So I'm not sure that I would have any use for your services.
Like everyone's image could use some adjusting, you know?
Well, I mean, I
Can
could,
never be too healthy.
uh, well, I mean, I was thinking of maybe growing a mustache, just for a month or three, but I don't know if I want to do that. So, so I don't know how much of an improvement it would be if I were to do it.
I'll give you a free piece of advice.
All right.
Start jogging.
Is it jogging? Start jogging?
Yes, as your main form of exercise, as your public form of exercise. Start
Uh,
jogging.
I don't, I'm not comfortable with public exercise.
That's sort of the whole point of exercise is that it signals to people that you are a healthy specimen.
What the, no,
It
I don't,
signifies that you value your health,
I don't need to tell people that I exercise regularly. I'm still a bit on the recovery, but I do not exercise to signal to other people that I exercise. Uh, I am totally disinterested in telling other people that I am exercising. I don't. It's not a social thing. But
Well, there's an old joke about it. How do you know the guy who just started exercise? How do you find the guy who just started exercising at the party?
how?
Don't worry, he'll tell you.
Oh yeah. Well, good for him. I uh, I'm
He,
not interested.
well, that's just, like what? So you're saying you don't care if like people know you exercise?
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem pretty passionate about it, but I'm just saying that like jogging is would be the perfect exercise for you when the in public is your main form of exercise because it's just gonna be the new trendy thing, you know? I'm just giving you a chance to hop ahead of the trend. It's like jogging's like from the 80s, and the 80s is uh probably trendy again.
Uh, it's never really stopped being trendy, as far as I
Well,
know.
well, it goes it reaches peak trendiness like every 20 years. So in the 2000s, that was a lot of 80s nostalgia, and then 2020s it's going to be the 80s nostalgia again. It's like a circle. It's every generation that has a cycle of nostalgia.
But so so your contention is that
Sort of like how like Happy Days that was made.
yeah, no,
Yeah, my
I'm familiar.
contention is that jogging is going to be uh popular again soon, and it's your chance to be ahead of the curve.
I what no so uh if I had a treadmill, I'd probably do an amount of running. Like I prefer to get my cardio from swimming, but I can't be in a large contained body of water with other people. I used to swim in college, and I remember seeing some things floating in the water that but and I don't like people being in your way, or you being in somebody else's way, or really just sort of being aware. Like I saw this little video recently, just a short thing randomly, where a guy uh, had two buckets uh, uh, filled with water, and he put a lot of chlorine in each of the buckets. And he put a small amount of this little cup of urine into one of the buckets, and he just sort of left it to sit for time. I think it was like a day or something. And he found that the bucket that was clean just smelled like water with chlorine in it, but the bucket that he'd put pee in it was that signature swimming pool smell. Uh,
Oh,
so
really?
yeah. So that smell that you associate specifically, not like water or chlorinated water, but with swimming pools, is because there is an amount of urine in there. It is uh, shedding of some sort of toxin from the human body that creates uh, that swimming pool smell, and I'm not interested. But um, I digress because that's what I do. But the like jogging outside, um, like there's tremendous risk involved with that. But there's also, I don't want to signal to strangers or really anyone that I am outside and performing exercise. I'm not at all interested in just like it seems like it's not just not a statement that I want to make, but it seems like if I am going out of my way to do something that is evidently making a statement to other people, um, just publicly, things that they have not asked for, it is sort of an abuse of public space. I'm not. I I I mean I don't like being outside and seeing other people.
Live their lives.
No. But doing performative things that are sort of socially demonstrating, like here's what I'm doing. Look at me. I'm doing a thing. I don't like that.
You know what I don't like is people being generous on camera.
Oh well, yeah.
Or like recounting, like let's say it's like a forum post, like in Quora, like it'll be like someone saying, "Oh, 9 years ago the other day, I bought like lunch for a homeless man," you know.
Yeah.
But I don't like having people document their generosities like that
Oh
and
yeah. Yeah.
bring it up,
Absolutely.
especially on the internet.
Yeah. That's there's a fair amount of content that's doing that. I think, and I probably went too far with my strange position on jogging, but I think to the degree that like, is it a, you're trying to show the quality of your people so other people will think more of you, or b, are you trying to bring attention to a particular uh, charitable goal? And I think that there is some room for uh, an amount of marketing that encourages other people to assist. I mean, I'm in agreement with you with that. If somebody like just does something nice once to brag about it, um, that's obnoxious. But if you're encouraging others to support or making people aware of a particular thing, I've got no issue with that. But that doesn't really go against what you just said.
Yeah, it's really the first situation I found
Hmm.
obnoxious. You know,
Yeah.
uh, you know, I saw was this video of this guy. He has like some sort of warehouse, and this is in Long Island. And shout out to Long Island, New York.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you guys are a great city. You do what you do.
Absolutely.
Anyways, this this is like in some neighborhood in the Long Island where there's like a huge drug problem, right? Where every person on the streets on drugs, and he's hired, like, he hires people by the day, and there's like this one guy shows up, and he has hidden camera set up because this guy is like, turns out he's on drugs, so he calls him to the office, and it's a hidden camera, and like starts lecturing him about like how he gave him a chance and all this stuff. So like, you got to get your life together, and like calls him a taxi to go home, and posts this like on the internet, him just like, firing a guy for being on drugs, and like, and acting, and he's, saying, he's doing it because, like, he's being like a hero or something.
Huh.
You know, what
So,
I'm talking.
well,
You kind of get the gist of it.
oh, sure. Yeah. You paint an image that I can process. That's dreadful that as part of this guy's, uh, I don't know, marketing his brand, he needs to humiliate somebody. I'm
I
not,
think to be
that's,
fair, it was like shot from behind, so you don't see the guy's face, the drug addict's face. I don't
yeah.
think you got a close look at it.
Okay. I mean, so that's not as bad. It seems like there's less reason for the now former employee to get litigious about it. But
Yeah,
I think a business owner ought to be able to hire and fire who they want in sort of a vacuum. But when you consider
sure.
that the floor that we have to fall on when we lose access to certain resources is quite hard, um, it's not making it more likely that this person is going to straighten up, but rather much more likely that they will suffer and die as a result of not having
Yeah.
the support of employment. And look at me. I'm so great. I'm lecturing somebody about morality and using that to that grandstanding of my good character and humiliation of this faceless person to express the quality of my brand. I think I mean that person and I probably don't have similar values.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It seems like kind of a classless thing to do. I mean, the hiring and firing, absolutely. If
Well, I don't think the hiring and firing, like that's not really the issue. Like,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I mean, like in of itself, like I'm pretty sure, it could have been he had a legit reason to fire the guy because of
oh
safety
sure,
reasons. You know,
well,
it's like
absolutely.
it's his business. He doesn't have to have people, nodding off and all, not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, no, totally,
Like,
totally.
but yeah, it's just but to like to like stamp on someone, on like one of the lowest points and like display it on the internet. Yeah, that's too far.
It's it's very far indeed. It's kind of a classless thing to do, but I don't
I
know.
mean, like,
He's
what do you think about like people who watch that and like think and then like and they actually get and they actually agree with this guy?
I think so.
Like, what's the percentage of people who have like who watch it and have moral misgivings about it, as to people who watch it like, yep, that guy, he's a real saint, straighten up those drug addicts
you know
and like
uh
doing business.
yeah, well, so people look for content to either affirm their beliefs or go against their beliefs so that they can take
Yeah,
issue with what they're seeing or so they can be told what to think. So I think that there's going to be a fair amount of people that are going to be uh, seeing some reflection of their values, some affirmation of their position. There are going to be people who seek that out just to oppose it so they can be offended. And then there are going to be people who, what do I believe? Uh, and somebody's telling them what to
yeah.
believe. But I think of the person who did that, they're taking a hard line. This is a forceful person who is being decisive. I think it's an ugly behavior, but they are being very assertive in their behavior. And the people who are tuning into this are detached from it. We are kind of insulated in context, and what we see is not something that is personalized that we are trying to identify with, but we are seeing depersonalized entertainment that is a reflection of our values. So I think the percentage of the people, whether it's more or less than half, who is enjoying it without any kind of moral compromise, are probably not doing so in a reflective way. And if they are doing it in sort of a mean-spirited way. So I think if you look at that and you're like, good, and it's not detached, you're like recognizing these are people, this is what is probably going to result of this, and they are being very thoughtful about it. I think that those people enjoy the idea of somebody being harmed. Perhaps they've been harmed themselves and they wish
Yeah.
for that harm to be inflicted on somebody else. So yeah.
So yeah, I think they kind of put themselves in like the shoes of the person giving out the harsh judgment. They think to themselves like, yep, that's what I'll tell this like, no good scumbag if
it,
I
it
was
could
there
be
too.
that some people have done that, and that's the
Yeah.
sort of validation they're getting.
And like and the people I'm talking about is like they never have the opportunity to do that. So vicariously doing that through this guy is like the closest they'll ever get. Because they're the ones usually being downtrodden.
Yeah, I think a lot of the antisocial perspectives that we deal with are sort of uh, like, I am distanced from this situation, and so I'm making harsh judgments about it.
Yeah.
I think if you've got some defining dogma that gives your life meaning and you can seek instruction from. So I am told by other sources to behave this particular way, or if you're just sort of viewing things through a superficial lens, then you can look at that sort of thing and you can be very harsh about it without actually connecting to it. I think the people that generally are not in that situation, recognizing that they would or have done that kind of harm to somebody else, are people who have a degree of separation. Um, they're just, I don't know, they're just not connecting with it in a human way.
Yeah. Like it's maybe they're I just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
uh, so what do you mean by not connected to it in a human way? Like they don't
I
have direct experience?
Yeah. So my position on that is, of the people
Yeah.
who genuinely enjoy it, you've got two camps. One who is perfectly capable, interested, not capable, we're all capable, perfectly
Uh,
interested and likely experienced with harming somebody uh, for the sake of some activated moralizing. Or it's a person who's just sort of armchairing it. It's detached. It's I don't know. Like you watch
I
a video of somebody wiping out on a skateboard, and they're
yeah.
probably harmed horribly, but you're just in it for the yucks. So
Yeah.
you're not really thinking of the harm. So I think it's a detachment. I think if a person is able to humanize it, and they are not inclined to be cruel in such a way, then they probably won't find it quite as amusing. Maybe.
That's probably the kind of person I am then.
The
Because I got it's like a really popular show is Bar Rescue. Have you seen that?
what's it called?
Bar Rescue. It's a reality show.
I so there's at least one. I think it's with that angry English fellow, where he kind of angrily sets
It's
restaurants
Kitchen
right.
Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay, yeah. So
Yeah,
so if the bar thing,
that example could work. But
okay,
what I'm talking about? Yeah, the bar thing is the same format. But yeah, like take the Gordon Ramsay show for example.
right.
Shows like that are pretty popular. Like I like I like seeing Gordon Ramsay yell at some idiots for messing up, for having a sloppy kitchen or something.
Sure.
Yeah, it makes me
Yeah.
feel like I'm the one yelling at these idiots.
We're all kind of like that. There's one show that I remember from a long ways back that was called The Swan. Have you ever heard of The Swan?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's you take these people who are uncomfortable with the way they look, and you have at least how it was portrayed on the show. Maybe there was more interaction in real life, but how it is portrayed on the show is that these people,
Plain
the what?
plain women.
But oh no, no, people other than the person brought on as the subject
Yeah.
are aesthetic experts or what have you, and they decide plastic surgery on somebody else's face, and this person's appearance is altered, and they're paraded on stage, and it's portrayed as some kind of a triumph.
Well, they,
um
they have to do a beauty pageant too.
yeah, they did they're in competition, I believe. Weren't they in competition with other contestants, like who is the most attractive out of these people that we just cut up?
Yep.
That's
That's the beauty pageant. Yeah.
So yeah, so somebody comes in, they're unhappy with how they look. A group of experts redesign their appearance, and then you force them all to compete. Um, it's perfectly natural to have a show say, here are your values, and now let's put them into work so you can be entertained. That's
Yeah.
that's just you know what
What was like the objection to the show? I think that's perfectly fine.
I
I
just
don't see any moral. I don't see any like sort of dark side to this or unsavory aspect to the show.
if that's what people want, I guess give it to them. But it's pretty disgusting. Uh, take people with low self-esteem, have experts redesign their appearance, and force them to compete in a beauty contest. I mean, that's
What
certainly entertainment, but in a it's it's like watching a horrible accident.
were there any like negative consequences to the contestants afterwards?
I don't know. If it followed them in their lives thereafter, I am unaware of it.
Well, I'm unaware of like any instances of like the contestants suing the network. So they're probably all better for it.
Maybe maybe I imagine that they had to sign piles of paperwork just for that exact reason. Um, but if I don't know, depending on whether there's enough red tape or not, I could see modern humanity working back to kind of a I don't know, Coliseum type entertainment, assuming that people consented to be put into it. I think people would watch each other or watch people tear each other apart. I mean, you couldn't do it with animals. You could probably do it with machines. Um, and I've been at a place uh, with a beer, and they covered with televisions, and my mind is going to go on mostly. I'm not really into sports, but the most compelling one is going to be the most direct violent conflict, kickboxing or boxing or
Like
something.
was a blood sport.
Is it is that what they call it? Do they call it a blood sport?
I think a blood sport's like what it's like a combat sport, but you kill people in it.
I mean,
Have you seen the movie?
The movie Bloodsport? No, I
Yeah.
have not.
But yeah, the combat sports are generally called blood sports.
Okay. Like not really being engaged in sporting events. I mean, I I don't have a real social incentive to be engaged, pardon me, to be engaged in those. When I'm at that sort of a place, and if I'm alone and I have to, watch something, it's probably going to be the what you say as a is a blood sport.
Yeah. What's your favorite ones?
Oh, I mean, I don't follow any of them. I think the most entertaining uh, would probably be wrestling of the sort that has, you know, exaggerated characters playing a role, and whether it's one of the smaller leagues, or the larger, more choreographed ones. Um, I would say that would probably be secondary to like a really violent boxing match.
It's like the most. I think I got the blood sport. That would be perfect for you then.
Well, okay, but I will start with a caveat that I have no intention of participating in a blood sport, if that's
Well, I
what
mean,
you
like
mean.
just watching it. Sumo wrestling,
I mean, yeah, maybe.
because it's got all the pageantry, but the actual sport of it is usually a few seconds long. It's very so you can like watch a lot of it in like in bursts. It's like
Yeah, but
each match, and plus it's all about strength and technique. It's very pure, a very pure test of athleticism because
I
it's a very simple sport.
I, I'm sure it's got many fine qualities, but it seems like part of the investment is you see these characters and you're watching them and you get wrapped up into uh, how violent they are, and a quick confrontation of one person throwing another aside. Well, it might be athletic and skillful. It doesn't seem to generally meet the uh, same height of I don't know, violence, compelling violence.
Well, the violence is distilled, into like 3 second doses. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
as
but
violent as anything else, but it's just more highly concentrated.
well, yeah, yeah, but in this subject, I am not advocating for any of this being particularly positive, especially outside of being a regulated sport. But imagine the entertainment value of seeing a person face plant from a trip, or a person being caught in extreme winds and things are flying at them, and you're trying to and you're watching them try to get out of the way to safety. Um, I would say that the second is probably more compelling. There's I imagine a lot of what draws people into sumo wrestling, if I am correct, and I may not be, in the assumption that it is a very quick sport, is being keyed into the characters prior to the combat. And I'm generally not interested in this stuff, but
Yeah.
witnessing a fight is prolonged. It's exciting. It's distressing, um, and it has intrigue. You wonder what is going to happen, and there's a lot of buildup to the thing happening. If you just had a really quick fight, it'd be something to think and talk about, but it would be less to engage with as you view it. You get it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I'm I'm not. generally interested in that. I'm not knowledgeable about it, but
You must be a dancer then.
I must be a dancer.
Yeah, because so, someone told me the other day
Ah,
the ladies like two types of guys: guys who can fight or guys who can dance. So,
well, uh,
what do you think of that? Like, are there two types of guys? Guys who are good fighters and guys who are good dancers? Is that the main divide?
I I don't know. I don't know. I don't see myself as at all marketable at this point in time. But I lived my 20s out, um, and I I wouldn't want to fight unless I had to, uh, because I value my well-being fairly highly, and I don't really dance. But
But you have danced when you had to, right?
I mean, I mean, way back in the oh, sorry, that's the timer. I'll
Uh,
wrap up the subject. I don't want to cut off, but like way back in the day, I remember you and I and other people uh, got quite sloshed and loud music and bouncing around. It's a thing that people do, uh, but right now, I cannot imagine myself dancing at all.
oh, really? Not even
Yeah,
like ballet or
not
jazz?
not even not even tap. You know,
Oh, tap. Come on. You gotta do at least a soft shoe.
I could probably do a little soft shoe if I had to, but it would be forced, and uh, preferably no one would be around, and it would be too dark for me to even see my own feet.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and certainly, void of any uh, uh, obstacles around me. But then, if I'm just sort of standing in a dark room without anything in it, soft chewing, uh, the there 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 would present the possibility of certain obstacles. Like, what if I need to make my way back to the light switch? That would be,
You got a
that's
clapper.
inevitable. Was it what?
You got a clapper. Clap on, clap off.
Yeah, I suppose that would work. Well, I think we ought to work this fascinating, truly fascinating. You know, anything less than sublimely stimulating would fall short of describing our soft shoe et al. Discussion. But do you have any shout outs, last words, things that are on your
Oh,
heart and mind to say?
yes. Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Wilkes-Barre,
Yes, you guys are good people out there. I heard that
absolutely.
the culture is basically binge drinking. That's the culture of Wilkes-Barre. Maybe you should move over there. I challenge you. Think you'll fit right in.
Well, thank you. I certainly try. Um, what's the name of the town?
Wilkes-Barre.
Wilkes-Barre. I can't say I blame them very much for that interest.
They have St. Patrick's parades for 2 weeks.
Really?
You know?
Is
Yeah,
it?
they're that's yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. Is it a strong Irish background so far as you know? Perhaps you don't know. You
So
you
but
what?
oh, I have another oh, I'm sure they have a lot of Irish people in there.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a another town I need to shout out,
All right.
Wilmington, Delaware.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wilmington.
You guys keep your head. Yeah, you guys keep your head up. Apparently, they have one of the highest murder rates in the country. So
Oh,
hopefully that goes down soon.
uh, you know, absolutely. Best of luck to you guys. Hope that gets cleared up. Uh,
Yeah.
well, uh, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm probably going to rush you out of my living space as usual, so you don't clog the toilet. But uh, it's been a it's been a treat to spend this time with you, George Shooter Nolan.
And it's been a great privilege to be in the same studio across from you, Des Essant.
Oh, thank you. Well, I have no shout out, so on behalf of myself, I can't speak for George, but I like to think this is how he feels. I hope you have a you as well, George, but the listeners specifically, even more than myself, because that's the kind of guy I am. I hope you have a lovely uh, next period of time.
All right.
All right.